Let's talk about building the WBS in Microsoft project. The first thing we want to do is set the project start date. First, click on Project, then Project Information. The only date we'll enter is the start date of the project, which is July 2nd, 2012. The software will calculate the finish date for us as we develop our plan. We usually want to finish a project as soon as possible, so leave the setting Schedule Project from Start Date as it is. This setting controls how resource leveling works to optimize your schedule. To get to this screen anytime, click on Project, then Project Information. From here, we can also click Statistics to get a summary of our project, and we'll also use it to enter the date of status reports, as you'll see later on in the tracking module. Once you enter the start date, click OK. The other setting for all new projects is the task entry screen, which is the only screen you will need to build your schedule using our methodology. Click on View, then More Views, then scroll down to Task Entry. Select it, click on Edit, click Show in Menu, then OK, and finally Apply. Now we'll have this choice appear in our drop-down View menu. Now we're back to the task entry screen with the Gantt chart view in the upper half of the window and the task details in the lower half. I've opened a completed schedule so you can see what we'll ultimately produce. So I click on a task in the upper half, and as you can see, we see its details in the lower half. We see the resources assigned to the task as well as the predecessor task. As you can see, this will be a very useful view once we enter predecessors and resources, and we'll also use it to enter status report data. So let's get started entering the work breakdown structure. In the upper half of the window, click on the first line, and we enter the project title, Breckenridge Expansion, and hit Enter. This drops us down to the second line in the software. We simply enter Start, and then indent one place by clicking once on the right pointing arrow, as you see on the screen. Everything will be indented at least one place beneath our title. That way, the first line of our project will give us totals for duration, cost, work, and everything else you'd want to know. Next, we click on the third line and we enter our first HLA. Which is facility is 2,500 square feet within 200 yards of ski lift. Then we click Enter. The software has maintained the indentation, so we're fine. Then we move down to the fourth line and enter the first sub-achievement. Vailcrest Management approves business and remodeling plans. We indent the sub-achievement one place. And as you can see, the software has made our first HLA in line number 3 a summary task. When we enter the second sub-achievement, the software will continue the previous indentation. So we'll continue and enter the rest of the sub-achievements. Let's fast forward just a bit down to line number 10, Users Approve System Design and All Acceptance Criteria. I'm going to further decompose this sub-achievement into two sub-sub-achievements. So in line 11, I'm going to enter Users Approve General System Design and Acceptance Criteria. And then indent it one space to create a sub-sub-achievement. Then we go down one more line and enter Users Approve Detailed Systems Design and Acceptance Criteria. We click OK, and once again, the software has maintained the indentation, so we're fine. For the next line, I'm going to enter the sub-achievement system meets user acceptance criteria. So I type that in and outdent one space to make it a sub-achievement. This is another sub-achievement that I've further decomposed. So on the next line, we type the first sub-achievement, system passes general design and acceptance criteria. Then we indent it one space. I have another sub-achievement, system passes detailed design and acceptance criteria, that I enter in line 15. I won't bore you with all the details of my data entry, so let's fast forward to entering the second high-level achievement. Okay, my second high-level achievement is restaurant generates $300 in revenue per day. Remember that we were at the sub-achievement level, so after I enter this in the software, we have to outdent this HLA twice by clicking on the left pointing arrow. We continue with the rest of the HLAs and subs until the whole plan is in. And last, we have the MOS for the project as the last line of the plan. We indent it to the same amount as a high-level achievement. That's all there is to the data entry of the WBS. You probably noticed that by default in the software, every task is scheduled to start on the first day of the project. Later, as we build the plan and enter predecessors and resources, this layout will change. With our WBS complete, let's go over a couple of key concepts. You may be asking yourself, what's with all this indenting and outdenting? Well, we're doing that to create summary tasks. Looking at the WBS, we have summary tasks, which are our high-level achievements, and they're in bold because we indented something underneath them. Summary tasks are holding tanks. We don't assign resources to them, assign work estimates, or link them to our predecessor network. Instead, the system will aggregate information about subtasks and record it for each summary task. So summary tasks are the subtotals in our project plan, and we'll use them to condense the plan for high-level reporting. As you can see, we collapse a summary task and the software hides the sub-achievements beneath it. As you can see, task number 3, 20, 26, and 32 are our summary tasks.